everybody, this is Alessandra. Welcome to my home, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making lasagne alla bolognese. These are the lasagna I love and these are the lasagnas I make, and I hope you will do the same and try them. There's hundreds of different ways to make lasagna, but this is my way. This is what I've eaten in Rome. And there's a little story I'll tell you later, but right now let's start the bolognese sauce because it's the thing that takes the longest. So let's get started. I cut up an onion, 3 carrots, and 3 small stalks of celery, some fresh basil. I have extra virgin olive oil, 2 pounds of chopped meat, and it's beef. You could use a mixture if you like of pork and veal, but I like the beef. And here I have, I'm gonna say 3/4 cup of white wine, and I have a passata di pomodoro, which is 24 ounces of passata di pomodoro. Here you could see already I have my lasagna noodles, but like I said, let's go step by step. It is a labor of love. So it does take a little time, but I'll walk you through it and make it super simple, and it will be super delicious. I'm using a 5.5 quarts cast iron enameled pot, which I love. For these things that need to cook long, I love the cast iron because it retains the heat and it really does a great job with the flavors. I'm gonna put in about 1/4 cup of the extra virgin olive oil, okay? And immediately before the oil gets hot, I'm gonna add my onions. Give it a little stir. I'm gonna add the carrots and celery. And let this cook down and caramelize for 5-6 minutes. Okay, I have it on a medium heat. You don't want to burn the vegetables, but you do want them to turn to a golden color and release the flavor. Add about 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and what that does, it releases the juices from the onions a little bit quicker. Okay, keep stirring. Again, you don't want it to burn. Be patient, and it'll be also worth it. Okay, and take a look closer, and then I'll go ahead and add the meat in to saute nicely. Okay, here it goes. Now, with your wooden spoon, what you want to do is start breaking it apart. You could higher your heat on high, okay? And this process goes quick. You want to make sure that before you add your wine, all your meat is nicely browned. The pot is hot, so I'm going to hold it. Also a good time to add a little bit more salt. I like to salt everything individually for maximum flavor. Okay, a couple minutes have passed. Still not the way I want the meat sauteed. You know, you want it to start browning on the side because that's all flavor. So I'm just gonna keep stirring. Okay, if you come close, I even want you to hear the different sound that it makes now that's finally sauteing. Hear that? Okay, perfect. Now it's time to add the white wine. If you don't want to use the white wine, you could use maybe some beef or chicken broth. But of course, the white wine it's what's needed. Okay, let's open up the passata bottle, and I'm gonna add the wine as evaporated. Okay, passata is very thick, so what you're going to do is fill this up with some water and just add it. But before I do that, I want the tomato to saute a little bit. So before I add the water, I'm gonna keep my flame on high and just keep stirring for I'm gonna say 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so I put the passata in, which is a tomato puree. I like this one because it comes from Italy, and it's really a great kind of, you could also use a peeled tomato. You could either put it through a blender or an immersion blender and then put it in. Now I've added some water. I just want you to come closer, take a look already at the colors of the bolognese, okay? Now this needs to cook at least for 2 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and add the water. I put in about 1.5 cups, I'm gonna say. I just rinsed out the passata bottle. I'm gonna add some basil, some of the fresh basil. Give it a stir. Okay, let it come to a boil. And as soon as it comes to a boil, you're gonna put your wooden spoon right here and your lid right on top and lower the flame to low. And about every 30 minutes, you're gonna come and stir it, but it's gotta cook a good 2 hours. And now let's get started with the rest of the lasagna. A stick of butter, which is 1/2 cup of butter, 2/3 of a cup all-purpose flour, 4 cups of milk. Okay, I'm gonna give you the measurements in grams. It's 110 grams of butter, 86 grams of flour, and a little bit less of a liter of milk, 960 mLs, all right? A pinch of salt, some black pepper, and also I'm gonna grate inside some nutmeg. Let's move right over to the stove. The first thing I'm gonna do is melt the butter on a medium heat. The butter is melted. I'm gonna go ahead and add my flour. Okay. Be careful, you do not want to burn the butter, but it's okay to leave it to let it get nice and toasty. Okay, now slowly start adding the milk and keep whisking. This process is gonna take 7-8 minutes because it's gotta thicken, almost come to a boil. Don't over thicken it, okay? But it's a good time to add some fresh cracked pepper, okay? And I'm going to grate in some nutmeg. You could already buy the powdered nutmeg, but I like it to grate it on the spot. It really gives it a different aroma. Okay, and I gotta tell you a little story about the lasagna, why I make this type of lasagna. We were in Italy, and this was quite a few years ago, and our second little girl, she was 5 years old. She was not eating throughout the trip. So we were in Piazza di Spagna, and we ordered dinner, and we finally sat down, and I saw lasagna on the menu, lasagna alla bolognese. So I said, you know what, I'll get that. And I said to my husband, I said, you know what, so Serena hasn't been eating, so I'm just gonna share the lasagna with her. I don't want anything to go to waste. And that's exactly what I did. So I ordered 1 plate for the 2 of us. Guess what? The lasagna were so delicious, so amazing that my daughter ate everything, and it took us over 40 minutes to get her dinner, so I was not gonna be able to order another one and wait another 40 minutes, and I was just so upset that I didn't get to eat those lasagna. But when I came back to America, I tried. I said, I'm going to replicate the exact dish. And finally, I did, and I'm sharing it with you. Hope you enjoy my little stories. Okay, see, it's thickening up beautifully. Now I'm gonna add a pinch of salt too. I don't think I did that. I'll taste it right before assembling the lasagna together. Okay, see that? Nice and creamy. Okay, let's get started to assemble the lasagna in my lasagna plate. We're gonna make multiple ones because I did make a lot of bolognese and the bechamel. So at the bottom, at the very bottom, what you want to do, you want to add some of the bolognese sauce and some of the bechamel sauce. Okay, here it goes. I'm going to use this wooden spoon to kind of spread it. There we go. And now we're gonna put our first layer of the no-boil noodles. I love the no-boil noodles. It really cuts down on time and preparation. Yeah, I'm gonna do it like this. Okay, now again, let's put the Bolognese sauce. In the meantime, do go ahead and put your oven on 350. So while you're putting this together, the oven warms up. Time for the bechamel sauce. And you'll see when it comes together, some people mix it. I like it just to spread it. I like to see that different layer of the white and the red. Okay, the different sauces. Okay, I'm gonna give it a good sprinkle of parmigiano reggiano. And now what I'm going to do is layer on some mozzarella. Don't make it too thick. I made some very thin slices. Okay, so the mozzarella is on. Now the next thing we're gonna do is start layering again another, we say strato, another layer of the lasagna sheets. There it goes. Again, we're gonna do the Bolognese sauce. Give it a nice spread. Okay. Here goes the bechamel on top. Just grabbing it the wrong side. Okay. Okay. And again, the mozzarella. I forgot the parmigiano. Couple more pieces of the mozzarella. There it goes. Okay, perfect. Now the final step for the pasta. I'm gonna go this way now. I'm gonna break off a little piece. This is what I love about these noodles. You could break them off and fit them to size. Okay, and there's one for right there. Let me cut this little corner so it fits nicely right there. Perfect. Okay, now the top I want very, very little of the Bolognese, and I want more of the bechamel sauce. Parmigiano again. Okay, now I want to show you something I just purchased that I love. This is from Le Creuset, and what it does is the tip is soft. So what happens is, look at that. When you scrape the pot, it acts as a spatula. So it's easier to just get everything out. I am going to cover it with aluminum foil and put it in the oven at 350, and we'll check back in about 30 minutes. Okay, Let's go. Take a look. Wow. It looks fantastic. I'm gonna put it back in for 5 minutes just to brown the top, and then it's ready to serve. Labor of love. Food is love, and it is my honor to share it with special people. I have Vicky, Massimo, Mr. Pat, my daughter, and their friends. They're giggling. They think it's all very funny. Well, anyway, make the recipes, subscribe, hit the bell button to be notified. Until next time, arrivederci. Ciao. Buon appetito. Salute.
Salute. Okay. God bless everybody. All those young girls are giggling, but their day will come.
Their day will come indeed.